All right, so today we're going to be making ham and bean soup. Great Northern bean soup with ham stock. This is a widely requested recipe that I've kept a secret for a long time, and so I'll be showing you guys the the method for going about making this. Good accompaniment with this is like cornbread, so cornbread and butter. Crackers, I always like crackers. You can also do put onions in it at the end. So let me show you guys what we're doing, and post your comments down at the bottom, and so we can get your comments back. Okay, thanks. For our ingredients, we've got ham, obviously. I got a spiral cut ham from some Safeway, brown sugar, carrots, onions. I also got some little baby carrots to supplement, and then we also have cornstarch, which I used as a thickening agent. Good old ketchup. You use the ketchup; it's kind of a sweetener. So, in the end, you got these are all the ingredients that you need. The other thing, of course, too, is we've got butter in it, but also white beans. I'll show you guys how to do, real quickly, how to do the Great Northern beans. I normally use Great Northern beans in my soup, but sometimes those are hard to find, and so white beans or a couple other kinds of like little white beans really work well as a substitution. So that's where we're going to be going for the next segment. All right, so next we're going to start with a piece of butter. We'll put that in our cooking pot here. Get the butter going. Kind of over a medium heat. Actually, turn this down a little bit. We've got it kind of right there. Start with that. And we're going to take the onions that we had put together and put those in there. Okay. And we'll stir that around for a few minutes. So we got butter and onions kind of caramelizing in the bottom here. I'm going to let those cook for a few minutes by themselves. In the meantime, we'll start with the ham and get that prepared. So let's move on. All right, so now that we got the ham in here, we got it cooking. We're gonna let it kind of simmer for about 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then we'll put in some water. And we'll put in the brown sugar and the ketchup as the next, and then some salt and pepper. All right, so the next step is we've got our brown sugar, about half cup to a full cup, depending on how big of a pot you're making. And then we got ketchup, which is just plain ketchup that you would use in your hot dogs. So I'm going to take that. I put in some water just to cover up a little bit of the ham, kind of get it some simmering. Also put the ham bone in there. That's the ham bone right there. You don't have, if you don't have a bone in the ham, you don't want to put that in there. Obviously you won't be able to put that in there, but I'll take that out before we serve it so no one gets the ham bone. So I'm going to put the brown sugar in here, and then the ketchup, and that will I'll stir that up. There's my spatula. I guess I'll put my spatula away. We'll stir that up and kind of get that nice and cooking for a little while. And so at the end we may have to test it a little bit. The other thing you can do is put a little salt and pepper in there at this point. But you want to cook this for a little while, and then we'll put the beans in afterwards. And we'll put the beans in afterwards, and then we'll let that simmer for a little while. That should be pretty much the basis of the soup. And then we'll put in some carrots to kind of just add a little color and add a little bit of flavor to it. And then at the end we'll put the thickening agent in. So Got a very nice simmering going on here. This is about 20 minutes at a medium heat, and kind of cooking down some of the constituent components. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the beans. Now, keep in mind, again, like I said, you can use, you know, these white beans. You can also use cantellini beans. Just depends. I'm using Great Northern beans that we made ourselves. I've got about, I think there is about 4 quarts in here. 3 quarts. You can barely see it at the top there. And that's with a little bit of the juice and everything too. So, put that in. Mix this up. So there's most of our soup, as it already is. And then I'm going to add in a handful of carrots as well, which will add a little bit of color to it. And really from there on out, it's just really just a matter of just simmering it, and just really simmering the soup, and kind of at the end you might want to add a simmering or some type of consolidating agent into it. I tend to use cornstarch. Other people tend to use flour. It just depends on what you prefer. And you really just want to get it so it's a little bit firm. Maybe like, you know, maybe like half to quarter to half cup of cornstarch and water. Sorry, anyway, carrots. And then you serve. And if you need to, you can always add, you know, if it's not sweet enough, you can add more pepper, salt, ketchup, brown sugar, whatever you want in order to kind of thicken it up. But that's really all there is to it. So enjoy. I'll post the ingredients at the end. Thanks. All right, so here's the soup. Once it's been cooking, this has been cooking for about 3 hours. You can see everything's you know, well, doing pretty good. You can kind of see like some of the fat and juices and stuff on the top. So what I'm going to do is, what we'll do next is we're going to do cornstarch, maybe a cup, about probably half a cup to a cup of cornstarch, depending on how thick it needs to be, and just mix that with a little hot water and get it a base, and you just kind of pour it in a little bit at a time in order to get it thickened up, and then let it sit for a little while, and then it will be nice and thick. Good, as I said earlier, and a good accompaniment with the corn is cornbread. Cornbread is always very good. So make up a batch of cornbread and serve that with cornbread, and a little butter or honey, or I also put crackers. Some people will put onions in it. It just kind of depends on what you want to do with it. So here's the soup, and enjoy. Go ahead.
The first step is to select your beans. These are Great Northern beans. And then you take the beans and you decide how many you want.
And how do you pick?
It's up to you. Then you have to sort through the beans, and I find the easiest way to do that is to use a cookie sheet. And what you're looking for is any stones in there. They're little black stones, and nobody wants those in their soup. So you have to be careful to make sure there aren't any stones in there. And you're also looking for any beans that look withered or just nasty or moldy or what have you. Like this one right here might be questionable.
And so what are you going to do with them after that?
After that, I already have my pressure cooker on the fire right now with some water in it and salt in the water. Not really a brine, but you'd like it to be kind of salty because it's going to all be absorbed into the beans.
Awesome. Great. So that'll make all the beans you need?
Yes, it will.
Awesome. Thanks.